Game of Thrones is one of those shows that just grabs you by the collar and doesn't let go. There's nothing quite like it out there.
From the first tones of the opening theme, you know you're watching something special.
I knew I wanted to take on this challenge. I wanted to let fans enter that world.
First of all, I would like to express my excitement and honor at being able to develop an action-adventure RPG game based on the Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is a magnificent story. The continent of Westeros, which is at the center of this, has the perfect structure for an open-world game. Our team created Game of Thrones Kingsroad with the hope of giving fans like us the chance to experience discovering the charm of exploring Westeros firsthand.
We wanted everything in the game to feel just right, so that players would feel like they actually become part of the world they've seen in the show every time they launch the game. When it comes to places like Winterfell or the Red Keep, which are shown in detail inside and out in the series, we have a lot of resources to pull from and make sure we get the layout of the castle and even the small details exactly right. Other locations, such as Highgarden for example, are only shown briefly in the series.
Thankfully, here too we can draw heavily from rich lore and world building found in George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire books. White Arbor, for example, is only mentioned briefly in the series, but is described in quite a lot of detail in the books when Davos travels there. For other places, such as Broad Arch Castle in the Stormlands, there isn't much specific information even in the books. Here, we had the creative freedom to establish its look and atmosphere ourselves, while still staying true to the world's tone.
Tying all of these places together is the player character's story, an original narrative prepared especially for the game. Our team of passionate writers has gone to great lengths to craft a unique and intriguing story that's distinctly Game of Thrones. We consciously chose to start the story of our game near the end of Season 4, when the War of the Five Kings is barreling towards its conclusion, Mance Rayder and his army of wildlings are about to attack the Wall, and Roose Bolton has just been made Warden of the North. Kingsroad will thrust you directly into the chaotic political landscape as the last surviving child of a landed knight with a small holding in the north. From there, the fate of both the Wall and your family's future lies in your hands. You'll need to navigate shifting loyalties, forge new alliances, and face more than a few familiar faces along the way.
I think one of the things that I love most about A Song of Ice and Fire generally is the way that every character has a really distinct attitude about not only the world of Westeros, but the people who inhabit it and the politics that are going on in the background. And it's these differentiations that make it really fun for a writer to try and tap into when you're making someone who's brand new. You know, it gives you kind of like a baseline to work from. And when you're drawing on those distinct attitudes, I think it makes it a lot easier to then write for the characters that people have already seen in the show. It's like a writer's dream to try and emulate.
When working on characters fans know and love from the show, we want to make sure they look just like the fans remember them as well. We were lucky enough to be able to receive detailed close-ups and production stills from the Warner Brothers archives. With these, we could make sure to capture every little detail. Even so, a perfect model with every single detail in the right place might still look off. This is why we keep refining and adjusting the models with support from HBO and our team members. This way, we were able to bring to life the characters fans know and love, not just in high detail, but just as they appeared in the show.
To bring these characters to life, we brought in several motion capture actors with a wide range and captured their facial motions in-house. The actor immerses himself in the scene, capturing the specific tics, habits, lack thereof in their performance. The camera captures every little change in the actor's expression and records it as digital data. Using this raw data, our animators then meticulously comb through every expression manually, making sure they all flow together just right.
Much of the personality in the characters from Game of Thrones is portrayed through their voice and their way of speaking. When casting these and other roles, we tried to stay as close to the actual character as possible. Overall, the sound design process for Kingsroad was more like that of a movie than a game. We crafted many new pieces of music unique to the game, but deeply in line with the amazing work of Ramin Djawadi. We made sure every location in the game doesn't just look different, but sounds different as well, matching the unique soundscape established in the show.
With so much attention paid to staying true to the IP and the world of Westeros, it was important for us to let that guide our approach to gameplay as well. All the elements of the game are balanced in a way that reflects the gritty and realistic low fantasy roots of the show. Every fight is a fight to the death, and with parry, dodging, light and heavy attacks, as well as various skills and combos, players will need to rely on skill to get through Westeros' many challenges in one piece. And for those looking for more of a challenge, the Altar of Memories and Beyond the Wall segments of the game offer unique and challenging fights with some of the most unique monsters found in the setting. We worked closely with our partners at HBO so that every one of these monsters fit firmly within the canon established in the show.
With such a vast world as our canvas and so many shiny toys to play with, we were able to tell stories that haven't been seen in the show or even in the books. As a fan and as a writer, there's nothing more enticing than imagining what it would be like to actually live in one of the Seven Kingdoms. And it's both an honor and a lot of fun to be able to flesh out and expand the world through the eyes of its small folk. The best part is that the player character's story is far from done.
Game of Thrones Kingsroad is a game that will continue to develop and expand. Future updates will bring new content, including the Westerlands ruled by House Lannister. We hope you look forward to it.
The biggest compliment we can get is that players felt immersed in the world.
Personally, overall, I'm just so excited to finally give fans of Game of Thrones a chance to actually live and fight and breathe in this beautiful version of Westeros that our team has created.
After a long day at work or on a late weekend, I hope our game will make you want to return to Westeros and get ready for new adventures.